We have some updates. We're fixing some stuff here. And then this guy comes in here. This dude, look at the fit though. Look at the fit though. Yeah.
It's a little weird today, but...
It's a little weird today. Wow, these are my friends, guys. These are my friends. And what up, world? Welcome back to the episode of Ski News World. A couple things we got to fix on the Huracan. One is not really fixed. It's kind of like a procedure to make sure we're good. That's what Rafi's doing right here. He's putting on some little slip low. These little like plastic rubbery things that go underneath the bumper right here. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but what it does is it protects it from getting grimy and nasty. Pulling in the driveway, so if you scrape that and not scrape the end of the front bumper. And also we have a light. I hate lights on my car. We have a lift light on the Huracan. I don't know why or what reason why it came on, but I know when I fixed the suspension and lowered the car. Remember that ghost link? If you guys watch the videos, hope you watch the videos. It's a ghost link. It's about this big. It connects to some type of mechanism that's attached to the suspension, and when the car raises and lowers, pretty much it tells the car like, hey, it's not too high or too low. The suspension's not messing up when it's going up and down, or the lift suspension, right? It's not messing up when it's going up and down. If you put those ghost links there, you have to reprogram the car to know that it's supposed to be this low. It's lower than stock, right? So what I think was when the bumper was getting put on, that it was up on the jack stands for like a good 4 or 5 hours, and maybe it threw something off. When I started the car, pulled out the driveway, put the lift up, light came on right away. It doesn't hurt the car when I drive it or anything. It's annoying. I hate lights. You guys know I hate lights. I'll show you when we get in the car later, but this red light comes on, says lift failure, maximum speed 45 miles an hour, and it comes on every like 15 to 30 seconds. We're here now. You guys already saw the reveal of the front bumper. How do you like it? I hope you love it. I'm still in love with it, but we're gonna leave here, PFS. We're gonna head over to Ghostworks, and then we're gonna get that light fixed. And we're also, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm finally gonna tell you guys a story, the crazy story about my R8, trading it in to get my dream car, my dream Lamborghini, and how this dream almost didn't happen because there's an issue with the R8. It's pretty wild, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really stressful. So I wanna tie it into, I remember when I did my Dream Car Series videos, a lot of you guys, which I love you guys, I appreciate you guys, but a lot of you guys were just hating in the comments, like, Skinny, you're never getting a new car. Where's the new car? Come on, you're clickbaiting, you're trolling. Like, no, I really want to take you guys along for the actual car shopping experience. But what also slowed me down was this R8 issue. And man, it was stressful. And so when you get to Ghostworks, I'm gonna break down that story to you guys and tell you what actually happened. And also why now I can actually share it with you guys. It's pretty crazy, because this dream almost didn't happen. Literally almost didn't happen. Without further ado, we're at PFS. Let's see what kind of cars they got around here. They always have some crazy and sick projects going on. So let's take a tour at PFS, and we'll be heading over to Ghostworks to get this light fixed. And I'm gonna tell you my crazy, almost didn't happen dream car story, baby. Let's get it. All right, guys, on my way to Ghostworks, so I'll show you. Right now, no lights, right? Nothing going on. Soon as I drive, it'll say lift failure, and this little red stupid lift light comes on. The only way I can put my lift up, I have to turn the car off, turn it back on, put the lift up, pull into where I'm going. It will go down without turning the car off again, but just annoying though, so we're gonna head there. I'll show you guys once this thing starts, how it comes on. All right, so we're driving. Let's see it come on. Don't make me a liar. There it goes. There it goes, that light right there. Ugh. My car still drives good though. Max speed 45 freaking miles an hour. The good thing is, like, it doesn't limit your speed, it doesn't go to limit mode, anything stupid like that. Every 15 seconds, literally, it pops up and it makes it like bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so I'll show you guys, look. So the lift won't work, right? Pull it up, nothing happens. So I gotta turn the car off, put it in park, turn the car off, bam. Turn the car on, pull the lift up, and now it works. See that yellow light? It means the lift is going up. So annoying. Eric Choi Mobile is here. Nice. see you. I see you. It's like jamming their party right now. I mean, I don't know if you really want it inside, but I thought I'd pull it inside.
That's all right.
All right. I wonder what Ryan drives. He's not driving a crazy freaking 600 or his Huracan. What is this?
Ford Maverick.
Oh, it's the Maverick. Did that replace the Ranger, right? Technically.
Look at
Oh.
This is the little tiny stuff.
This is the okay. So
The
the Ranger, Maverick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's not trying to compensate. All right, the Slammermobile is all done. Wow. Silly thing is the ghost links. Remember I told you guys about the ghost links that you have to put on here when you lower this car to tell the system that it's lower, reprogram it, blah, 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 blah. That's earlier in the video. They were actually off. So either got knocked off or they got taken off. They're putting the bumper on. So no harm, no foul. Quick fix. That's done. Oh yeah. You ready, Jen? Woo! We can't end this video without some car time, baby. Let's get some car time in. Let's go. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. That never gets old. Look at this thing. Oh, a little bang bang scoot. Ready, Jen? Here we go. 5.1 good one right here in the wide body. Let's go. Wide body GTR is the business. That thing is sick right now. Liberty Walk Kid. Money. You like that, Jen? This thing sounds so sick. Oh, listen to the spool. Now, some of you guys in the comments on the video I did with Mo about him getting that 5.7, you guys thought I was hating on GTRs. I'm not hating on GTRs, man. Especially the video I did about it not being a supercar. It's not a supercar, guys. I'm sorry, it's not. But it's still a sick and dope car that I definitely respect and I appreciate. I love me a GTR. So sick. Later. What do you think about GTRs, buddy?
Turbo money.
Let her run, baby. Let's get it. Man, this car never disappoints.
Alright guys, I'm holding the channel right now. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Here we go. Chitty chitty bang bang.
Are you taking over the vlog?
Yes, let's do this. Yeet.
All right, guys, it's story time. Dang, you got the dogs barking down there. I know I was going to tell you guys a story at Ghostworks. There's a lot going on there, like a lot of work from next door, from their neighbors as well. Also, they were working busy and it was a little loud, so I wanted to make sure I had a nice, quiet place to tell this story. And so where do I begin? Let's talk about, okay, the start of that R8, that second gen R8, my second supercar. So you guys know I bought that car and I bought this car from a certain dealership. Now, I'm not going to bring up the name of the dealership. You guys can watch those videos. You can see where I got them from. You can figure it out for yourself. But first, the reason why I didn't bring up this story originally was because, you know, the owner actually did me solid on both cars, on the other R8 and on this car. And I didn't want to like blast them on social media right away. I'm like, oh, they did me dirty because he has some shady stuff did come up. Allegedly, they said they had nothing to do with it, right? But they did make it right in the end. When I tell the story, you'll understand. But now they're a new ownership, so they sold That owner sold that dealership, so now it's owned by somebody else. And now I feel like, okay, I can talk about it, I can share it, and not really throw them under the bus completely, right? So let's start with that R8. So I had a first gen R8, right? That was the first supercar I bought. It was a 09 R8. Love that car. It was black. I murdered it out. Got me in the supercar game. Had that car for almost a year. Then I wanted to upgrade to the 2017 R8, right? Went into the dealership. They did me a solid on that car too. Gave me a really good deal on my trade-in and got me in to my second supercar. Now this car actually had some history that I found out way later. So when I first got that car, that was right before, the world shut down before COVID. So before the world had shut down, I had that car for a few months, was going to events and so on and so forth. And then everything just shut down, right? There was no meets, no shows, nothing for a long time. When finally everything opened back up again, I was able to hit the road, see some old friends. I met up with my boy Amir. So Amir, if you guys remember him, OG DDE followers, if you guys remember Amir, he had a channel called The Car Biz. And he used to roll around with Damon and Dave way back in the day, and that's how I met him, was through Damon and Dave. He had 2 R8s back in the day. He loved the platform so much, he had 2 of them, yes, he had 2. And we were at this Sawman event up in LA, and we were chit-chatting and talking. He's like, hey man, I think you have my old car. And I'm like, no way. He looked up the VIN number, and sure enough, I had his old R8. He actually wrapped it almost a similar color. It was like a bright green color, similar color to the Huracan. It's funny now that I look at it, think about it. It was pretty close. The cool history of that thing, like Damon actually got to drive that car. He tuned it at VF Engineering, and that video he made, Damon actually did some donuts in that car. So it's pretty funny that used to be his whip. So we got talking about it, how much fun he had in that car, how much he loved it. Then he asked me like how much I bought it for. And I told him, I bought it for this price. And he kind of did a pause like, okay, cool. You love it? Yeah. Any problems? No, man, no issues. Cool. And that was kind of like the end of that conversation. Like it didn't go any further. And I would say about, I don't know, 8 months later, almost a year later, caught up when they get out of the event. We started talking. Once again, they had the car wrapped, had some rims on it, completely different looks. He started asking about, you still loving the car? Yeah, the car's great, car's great. Started talking about the car again. He literally brought up, he's like, how much did you buy that car again? And then I told him, he was like, okay. And he bought it from where? Told him I bought it from, yeah, I sold it to those guys. Oh, you did? He's like, yeah, I sold it to him. He's like, I gave him a really good deal on that car. Okay, cool. Thought nothing about it, moved on. Now let's fast forward a little bit to me doing the supercar shopping series. Now I took you guys along for that journey, and I went supercar shopping. Started with the Porsche, right? Wide body Porsche, didn't like it. Drove a few McLarens, so on and so forth. You guys followed along on that journey. Through that journey, you guys were like in the comments heavy, like, Skinny, you're never getting a car. Where's the new supercar? We want to see it. You're trolling, you're clickbaiting. And the whole point of that Supercar Dream Car series was to show you guys, like I'm doing with my boy Mo, to show you the process of actually buying your dream car, right? And getting to that final stage of when you actually make your decision, you make that purchase, and like the journey going through it, and how like when you go through some pain points, it's worth it. Well, that happened getting in this car. So let me continue with that story, because it gets even crazier as I get into it. While I was dream car shopping, I kind of was like narrowed it down to 2 cars that I really wanted to get. And it was going to be, yes, the Huracan that you see behind me. And also I was thinking about honestly pulling the trigger on getting a McLaren. All because of the way you can build those cars. Really downpipes tuned. That car sounds crazy, shoots flames. Now it was between maybe a 720 because those prices dropped, or honestly getting like a 570, which is obviously the cheaper model when it comes to McLarens and their supercar platform. Ended up going with the Lamborghini, as you guys see. But once I made that decision on what car I wanted to get, then it was time to, okay, now let's try to trade in or sell my R8. My first thought process was to sell my car. I didn't owe that much money on it, so I figured if I can sell it, I could then go into another car with no negative equity, or if I made a little bit of money, like maybe even $15,000, which I actually had some equity in that car for what I owed on it compared to what it was worth. I had about 15 to 20K that I would have made on that car. So I'm like, cool, I can use that extra money and use it as a down payment to get into a new car. So that was my thought process, right? So then I started scaling, okay, who wants to buy the car? So Moab was the first person that was interested in buying that car because he really wanted to get an R8 and he wanted to twin turbo it, do some crazy stuff, shoot flames. That was his vision for that car. So he used to have a used car dealership a few years back. He had access to Carfax. He ran the Carfax, saw it was a clean title. Car was serviced very well by the previous owner, which is Amir, serviced very well by me. Cool, man, how much do you want for it? I want X amount of dollars. Agreed on the price. Couple months go by and he actually backed out of the deal. Shame on you, Moab. Shame on you, Moab. Shame. So then I proceeded to find someone else who wanted to buy the car. Somebody who worked at a dealership. A friend of mine was selling cars through that dealership and they were just sourcing out cars to buy. Offered up my car. Looked at it, Carfax clean. They ended up backing out At this point in time, it had been about 6 months, maybe 7 months or so. And as I'm trying to go through this deal and these Dream Car Series videos are going up, some of you guys are trolling in the comments out there about why I'm not getting a car, because it takes time. I'm not gonna just jump into a car right away. I gotta get rid of the one I have first in order to obtain the dream car, right? So then I get a call from my buddy again, like, hey, we found another buyer. They will love to buy your car. Same friend, same dealership. Cool, that owner wants to see the Carfax, latest Carfax, because at that point in time, a few months went by, you know, things can happen, right? Maintenance issues can come up, accidents or whatever, if I had gotten an accident, whatever. So that owner, that person who's interested in buying the car wanted to see a new, updated Carfax, freshly printed. Runs the Carfax, my buddy goes, Skinny, you know an accident, you have an accident in your car? I'm like, that's not possible. Because Moab ran the Carfax, right? 6 months go by. He ran the Carfax, right? And then he ran it again a few months later, and the accident pops up. I've had this car now for about 3 years. At this point in time, I've had that R8 for 3 years. That was an accident. That guy obviously backed out immediately, like, I don't want a car with an accident on there. I had him send me the Carfax, and it said on there, it didn't say low damage. I think it's high damage is the rating. It said moderate damage, which is like right in the middle. But that's enough to where people are gonna be scared to buy the car. So that ruined a sale for me. But immediately I got nervous, got upset, like, how was there an accident popping up on this car? So I pulled up my files. I keep all my stuff when I buy cars, motorcycles, whatever. I keep all my stuff in a file folder, right? I pulled it up when I bought the car, clean title, nothing on it, just because I missed it. Checked all my paperwork, all my signatures, nothing's wrong with the car. Maintenance was great, right? So then Moab found someone else who owned a dealership close to my house, and he was interested in buying an Audi R8. Luckily, he had a friend that had one, me. So I bring the car down, he takes a look at it, does a walk around. He is in love. For the price I'm selling it for, he's even more in love because it's cheaper than what anyone else would sell the car for. Same thing, we sat down, talked about it, came up with an agreement, run the Carfax, he sees the accident, immediately says no. So now I've lost 2 sales on this car. At this point in time, I'm getting really stressed out because the thing for me, before I keep going with the story, is I really want to make sure that if I'm going to keep this car, the R8, I want it to be because I want to keep it, not because I'm forced to keep it. So at this time, I had 61,000 miles on this car. So I knew with high mileage supercar, I'm not going to make a ton of money, and eyebrows could be raised for some people who are trying to buy an exotic car, because high miles on an exotic car isn't that sexy for buyers. Although the R8 and the Huracan are like the Honda of supercars, it's still not that attractive. Now you add an accent on there, it's an automatic no. So right away I go into panic mode, like, dang, am I really gonna be stuck with this car for the rest of my life? Or am I gonna get killed on price? Like, I'm gonna lose a lot of money on this thing. Like, I potentially could have to owe an extra $30,000 because of an accident with the mileage. So as I'm freaking out, I make a phone call to the dealership that I got the Huracan from, and there's someone there that I know that's been helping me trying to find cars and stuff, right? Hit them up, like, hey, we have a problem. What's the problem? Like, I bought this car, obviously you know I bought it from you guys way back in the day. You know I'm looking for another one. The problem is an accident popped up and it's killed 2 deals for me. What do you mean an accident popped up? Hey, I've had this car for 3 years and there's never been an accident on here until now. How does the car, about 3.5 years later, not have an accident? So they pulled my file when I originally bought the car. Well, it shows it's clean. Yeah, it does show it's clean. Run a new Carfax. They run the new Carfax. They also see the accident on there and they're like, that doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. So let me call you back. Let me talk to my manager and see what we can do. I wait a couple days. I get a call back from them. They're like, hey, my boss said if you have time to come in and sit down and talk, let's talk about this, because they're also confused on how there's an accident that popped up. So as we're going back and forth literally for the next few weeks about what we potentially can do, I make a phone call to Amir and say, Amir, hey man, I got a question for you. Was there ever an accident on this car when you bought it? He was like, well, I bought it new. So no, but yes, there actually was an accident that happened on this car. And he said that's why when I asked you how much you bought it for, I kind of was puzzled because I sold it to them for really cheap because there was an accident. He's like, no, it wasn't crazy. Like, there was damage. The only thing I had to replace on it were the carbon fiber side blades. He said, but the whole driver's side of that car had damage to it. I'm like, no way, you gotta be kidding me. Yes, he's like, the whole driver's side of that car had damage to it and it was completely repainted. Whew. And I asked him, do you have proof? He said, yes, I have proof. So you guys know when you buy and or sell a car, you have to sign paperwork saying you're selling the car in this condition and you're saying that this and this and this happened to it or did not happen to it. You have to sign for that. So when he sold the car to them, he signed documents and they signed documents admitting and showing, yes, this car is in an accident and disclosing that. And that's why he sold the car to them so cheap. And that's why they then again sold it to me. They did sell it to me for a pretty decent deal, but still a little bit higher than what it should have considering there's an accident on there, right? Long story short, let's fast forward a few weeks. Next conversation. I see this car pop up on their website that's for sale, and it had everything I wanted. Anything I really wanted in this car was this engine bay. I really wanted this cover. I didn't want the clear glass where you see the engine on the inside. Yes, I know it looks cool when you see the engine, but I had that in the R8, but I really wanted a different and aggressive look. The second thing I really wanted was a rear-wheel drive. I wanted the 580. All-wheel drive car was fun. I loved it. Like the turns, the way the car just hugs the road. The R8 platform is really great for that, but I wanted something different. I wanted to feel the car kick out. I wanted to have that experience and to have the opportunity to do donuts and crazy burnouts when I wanted to do them. And that's what popped up. And when I saw the green, like who doesn't love a bright Lamborghini, right? So I fell in love immediately when I saw this car. So I called my person and said, hey, you have a 580 that I want for a really good price. Let's see if we can do a deal. A couple days later, I get a call back saying, hey, they say, if you can make a trip up here, let's sit down and have a conversation. At this time, guys, it had been at least 2 months since I let them know that there was an accident on the car I bought from them to this conversation we're talking about now. So I make a trip up there, we sit down, we start talking. And once again, did not want to take accountability for what happened. Hey, we don't do that. We don't buy cars like that. We don't buy cars that we don't have accidents, and we don't hide them. Once again, I'm the customer. So obviously I didn't do it. So someone did it. I'm not saying you did it, talking to the manager. I'm not saying you did it, but somebody had to hide something. I'll give you 4 months. I'll even maybe give you a year because of the late reporting on the Carfax. But I know the original owner, and I have proof that you guys knew this car had an accident. I have paperwork. Because, okay, show me. So good thing I had my proof. I pulled it up on my phone and showed them the documents. Flat out showed them the documents. Here you go. Here's that person's signature. And here's your guys' signature. And then I showed them, they looked at my paperwork. There's nothing on there that says that they knew there was an accident on that car. So somebody did something shady. And that's when I knew I had something. I was losing probably about $30,000 to $35,000 on that car, on that R8 because of that accident. Counting, no accident, counting the miles, I honestly could have sold that car for, once again, 10 to 15,000 more than what I owed. So either way, I was up already. But with the accident, it knocks me back that plus another $30,000. So ultimately, I'm out about 30 to 35 grand. So I said, you guys need to make up that difference. There's a car you guys have that I want. I've already looked at it. I walked around before you came in the office. I want that car. If you can make it right, I'll walk out of here with a new car and you guys can make this issue right with the accident. He didn't want to budge. He said, no, we're not doing that. So I said, okay, I already made a report to Carfax. So let's rewind back. I told you Moab used to have a used car dealership, right? This same thing happened to Moab selling a car to a customer. He bought a car at auction, clean title, sold it to a customer, accident popped up a year later. That person reported to Carfax, and I didn't know you can do this. So if you guys ever had this issue, report it to Carfax. Carfax contacted Moab as the dealer saying you sold someone a car with the accident with them not knowing there's an accident. You have two options. Either you buy the car back, or that person is just going to sue you, and they're going to get their money back regardless, plus interest, and you will have negative reporting or bad reporting from us in Carfax. So guess what? Moab had to buy that car back in full for what that customer paid for. So all in all, that person got to drive around that car for free and got all their money back. So let's get back into my story. That's what I told that guy. Like, hey, I already made a report to Carfax. So either you make it right now, or you wait 6 months, maybe to a year, you're gonna make it up anyway. And I'm gonna keep driving this car, putting more miles on it. You're gonna pay me all that money back for what I originally bought it for, and you're gonna be out. And you're gonna have a bad reputation with Carfax. A week and a half goes by. I'm just talking to my person I know back and forth, like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Finally, I get the phone call that I've been waiting for. And it was like, if we can do this, this, and this, and this, do we have a deal? Yes, we got a deal. And that's how it happened, guys. If I do my calculations, it was probably a good 4, almost 5 months. I thought I was gonna be stuck with that R8 that I honestly no longer wanted because it was tarnished with an accident that I wasn't aware of. It's different when I know there's an accident and I have the car and I enjoy it, but when I've enjoyed it, liked it, I'm like, man, I think I'm ready to move on. And you think you're just stuck with something that you've already told yourself you don't want, it stings, man. I really thought that this dream was never gonna come true. I literally thought my dream car was never gonna come. And on top of that, I don't wanna let you guys down. Because I know, even though some of you guys were trolling on the comments, and it is annoying, but I appreciate you guys wanting me to like elevate and get something I've been promising you guys. Like, I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate you guys having interest in me doing something, whether it's getting a car, whether it's modifications, whether it's drives. I really do appreciate that engagement from you guys. And I didn't want to let you guys down. So it was like, I felt all that pressure from me personally that I wanted to complete this goal that was gonna be ripped from me because some negative reporting, right, that I didn't know of. And I didn't want to let you guys down. It's like I had this horrible feeling in my stomach for like 5 to 6 months, man. It sucked. It was very stressful. On top of that, you know, I had some personal stuff going on too that I'm not gonna go into. My wife asked me not to share some of that stuff. Has nothing to do with us, we're fine, but there were just some personal things going on that like were also conflicting with my decision making. Like, is this a good time to do this or not a good time to do this? Should I wait and do it, or should I just go for it and take a chance? And you know what? Go balls to the walls and say, who gives a, right? You only live once. So I went with the you only live once mentality when I was able to figure all this stuff out, and it worked out great. I'm not saying do that all the time, guys, because sometimes you do have to be patient and make a right decision at the right time, but sometimes you got to say, you know what, I'm going for it. And that's what I did. But they made it right. That's why it took me so long, guys. It wasn't just, yes, it was me trying to make a decision on what car I wanted to get, but it was getting that car. And like, it was a grind, man. I was on the phone almost every day. And the person that's helping me out, keep in mind, they work for the dealership, so they can't be completely like on my side. Granted, they were and did help me out. They're employed by this company, and they can't completely say, oh, I'm helping Skinny out. Sorry, guys, you're doing me dirty. They had to play the middle game. So it's finding that balance to make sure they were helping me out, but also keeping their employer happy at the same time, right? Like, you can't turn it back on your employer, especially when you know they're doing something wrong. You speak up, which they did, but you can't speak up too much to where you can lose your job. So I really want to share this story with you guys so you honestly knew where I was coming from. I know I did the Dream Car series. A lot of you guys loved it. I know it like kind of strung out for a while, but I really was looking for that perfect car that I wanted. And then getting there, like after those videos stopped and that series stopped, like getting there was tough. And now hopefully you guys understand what the heck took so long. It was a good almost 7 to 8 months of just back and forth, and oh my gosh, and 6 months of gut-wrenching feeling in my stomach that I was not gonna make this happen. And man, it's worth it. That's what every day when I walk outside and I look at this car, before I even started, like it means so much to me. The journey of even being able to buy one and afford the payment is one thing. And then the journey of like just getting the car, like finding it, going back and forth with the dealership, like all that stuff counts, and that's part of the journey. And it gets stressful sometimes, but when you're able to make it happen, like it means that much more. Like the struggle and the grind makes it worth that much more. So whatever it is you guys want, man, this is a little motivation right here for you guys. Like, I don't do this a lot because I don't bore anyone, but like, keep pushing, man. If it's school, if it's a car, if it's a house, if it's a job you want, if it's, I don't know, pair of socks or shoes, whatever it is that you want, man. If it's to go on a trip somewhere, like don't give up on it. Obviously be smart about it, plan it, make sure you can afford it, make sure it makes sense for your life, make sure it makes sense for your family, whatever it is, and then go for it, man. And don't take no for an answer. You have to keep pushing. If someone tells you no, that doesn't mean they don't see your vision, they don't understand, or they don't get what you're trying to do. Find another avenue and make it happen. So don't give up. Do not give up until you can get it, because you can get it. Because once again, you're talking to someone who dreamed about it but never thought it could happen, and guess what? It freaking happened. So hope you guys enjoyed this story, man. Like, it's a crazy one. And man, on the next one, I have another dream that I'm trying to accomplish. It's gonna take me some time. Man, Murcielago or Aventador, man. That's what I'm thinking next. I'm not sure which one it is, but either way, I'm gonna start planning, plotting, and planning. And man, subscribe to the channel, guys, because you never know what's gonna happen. Before we go, this bumper. How do you guys feel about this freaking bumper? It is amazing. Auto Addict killed it. Like killed it with this conversion bumper. And I also want to shout out San Diego Auto Spa with the PPF, man. They knocked it out the park. So if you guys can do me a favor, give both of them a follow. Auto Addict. If you guys have any American cars, Mustang, Camaro, Corvette, they have a million different kits, wings and stuff. You guys can get Carbon, like they kill the game in that. So that link's in the description. And then please, San Diego Auto Spa. That man's story is incredible. Watch my other vlog of the reveal of this bumper. You'll hear his incredible story. But give them a follow on Instagram, and on their first recent post, let them know, hey, Skinny sent me. Like that thing, follow them. If you need any work in anywhere near the Orange County, San Diego area, PPF, they will take care of you. He is amazing, and he is really good at what he does. He pays very close attention to detail, great communication. His name is Wasim, he's the owner. Hit him up. Without further ado, man, the next vlog is gonna be lit. You're not gonna miss it. Let me stop talking. Boys, out of breath. It's Skinny's World. Skinny's World!